Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Butler. I'm so honored to be part of this ceremony. My mom, also a donor, saving lives left and right. So thank you guys for letting me come sing you some songs today. Down along the water, I see you in my mind. Down along the water, I'm wasting all my time. Together we will one, we'll watch the days roll by, kiss the setting sun. Only you and I, down along the water, is where I'll always be. Down along the water, she's waiting there for me. Together we will one, watch the days roll by, kiss the setting sun, only you and I.
Welcome to Nevada Donor Network's Donor Remembrance Ceremony. My name is Jan Jones Blackhurst, and it is my honor to host this very special event today. 37 years ago, my best friend's daughter, Lauren, was born with cystic fibrosis. Then her life expectancy was not to exceed 21 years old. But Lauren defied every odd. She got married, she had 2 children, she was living the life of her dreams, and then CF started to take its toll. By a year ago, her lung capacity was less than 17%, and every day we wondered if she would make it through another day to spend time with her husband and her children. Then they put her into the hospital because her capacity was so low that she couldn't be in an outside environment. We kept waiting to hope and see if a donor would come that could extend her life and allow her to return to her family. And in fact, a donor came. Lauren received a lung transplant about 3 months ago. And today she is healthy, she is happy, she's living with her husband and her children and has an incredible life to look forward to. And that life was only possible because a donor had the capacity to give the gift of those lungs that gave life to Lauren. So for all of you donors who ever wonder, is this the thing to do? It's the gift of life. It's the gift that gives life to someone who maybe has no hope. Watching Lauren and her family and the joy that they experience every day and the appreciation that they know this was only possible because of the gift of those lungs is something that really moves me to be a part of Nevada Donor Network, to work with them every day to try to make sure that every possible opportunity for a transplant to take place to save a life becomes a possibility. It is now my pleasure to introduce Reverend Mary Bredlau. She's been an ordained Episcopal priest for more than 25 years, and it's our honor to have her with us here today to deliver the invocation and begin today's ceremony in the most powerful of ways. Please welcome Reverend Mary.
Let us pray. Dear family, givers of life, your family and friends who died became the phenomenal gift of life for those still struggling here on earth. Because family and friends of those who died took the steps of courage, tremendous over-the-top courage, unbelievable goodness for struggling strangers to donate the ultimate gift of all, the largest and most meaningful gift of all, life continues. Nothing can replace your daughter, your son, your sister, your brother, your child, your wife, your husband, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles and cousins, nor best friends of your life. The memories deep inside of you will never go away. They will continue to bless and enrich your life. God the Creator cries with you as you hand over the precious and sacred body of your loved one to be life for another. Whether you are a donating family or a receiving family, your precious person's life will live on in another's life. There are no words, God, to describe the feelings and memories of our donating families and our receiving families. Receiving life from another is an indescribable miracle of love. It says to the outside world that no matter what disasters, nor worldwide illness, nor wars ever occur, there will always be goodness and truth to overcome sadness and nourish hurting people to heal, grow, and find peace. God, we ask as a genuine community of both donating families and receiving families to help each one of us heal. Send kind and loving and listening people into our lives to help us with this needed healing. There is goodness and support of others in this world. Sometimes we have to look for it, but other times it just slowly moves into our daily lives. Bless this gathering of goodness, kindness, gentleness, and generosity. And we thank you for the Nevada Donor Network community, the visible sign to the world that it is possible to give and receive, and thereby enrich the world we live in. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Mary. Now I would like to welcome Nevada Donor Network's President and CEO, Joe Ferrara. Joe has led Nevada Donor Network since 2012. He serves the mission of the organization with passion, spirit, and respect, and he inspires his team to do the same. Please help me welcome Joe.
Thank you, Jan. I truly appreciate your kind introduction. It is a tremendous honor to be here today with all of you. At the core of Nevada Donor Network's life-saving and healing mission is the heroic donors and their courageous families. Your loved one has made life and health possible for those in desperate need. At the core of our mission is you. By saying yes to donation, you and your loved one chose to be a light of hope for another family. Someone's child, parent, neighbor, or friend has been given the ultimate gift because of this heroic decision. Today, we wish to share the profound impact each donor hero has on the world. We gather to honor their legacies. We want you to know from the bottom of our hearts just how deeply grateful we are to your family for entrusting our team with caring for your loved one. Please know we are here to continue standing beside you. On behalf of the entire Nevada Donor Network team, thank you for allowing us to honor your loved one today. Their generosity will be remembered always. Thank you for making the gifts of hope, strength, and life possible.
Thank you, Joe. It's now my pleasure to introduce you to LaShonda Marshall, a Donor Hero sister and a team member at Nevada Donor Network for 13 years. Her connection to donation changed immensely when she lost her younger brother Capone unexpectedly at just 26 years old. His heroic decision to heal lives through donation has left behind a legacy of hope. Please welcome LaShonda to tell her brother's story.
So my youngest brother, he's the youngest of 13 of us. And 2015, he was actually taking a physical to become a correctional officer. And during that test, he actually passed out right before the finish line. And at that moment, he was rushed over to Valley Hospital, and he was actually pronounced there, and they pretty much at that moment when they came out, I had already knew he was a donor, and working for Nevada Donor Network had educated me. So by them educating me, I was able to educate my family. So my brother actually had the heart on his license prior to, but he didn't actually know what that meant. So when I started working for Nevada Donor Networks, I was actually able to educate my brother in regards to tissue and organ donation. And he was like, I just did it just because it was the right thing to do. But then when I went a little bit further to educate him how he can help one person with 8 organs that he may have to give, that made him so much more excited about saying yes. Prior to, he went a little backwards because he just said yes, because that's the person he was. My brother had a really huge heart, and I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that he was able to say yes prior to, even though he did it a little bit differently than what normally people would do it. But him just knowing, or him being educated after the fact, made him even more excited. And then when he passed away in 2015, it gave my heart actually peace, because we didn't have to make that decision for him, because that decision was already made. And the outcome was he gave 4 people sight, 67 people. He enhanced 67 people's life through tissue donation. And that brings our family solace. Our family donation just brought us together even more. 2016, we attended the donor remembrance ceremony as a family. All of us was there. I know that's a lot, but we were all actually in attendance it was just like the final moments to just say, okay, to be at peace with his decision that he made at that time. So it was able to bring us, we were close prior to, but it made us even more closer actually after the fact. Just knowing. And then not only that, our family started getting a little bit more education. Oh my God, what is this amazing thing that Capone did? So therefore they start researching and educating themselves, and then they became donors over the years. So that's the impact that it have had on our family. But my brother was buried on the 21st, which was a Monday. I came back to work on that Thursday. That Thursday we did the offsite at Westgate. And that's when we came up with our core values of hope, strength, and life. It was so crazy. And during that meeting, they actually had me as the lead, and they told me I had to get up and explain hope, strength, and life at the most vulnerable time of my life. So I stood up in the room. My heart was filled with so much grief. I was so hurt, so damaged. But those 3 words gave me so much strength. Because the hope that the company gave me, because our company, like I said, is like a family-oriented company. Our executives actually was there for me every single day when my brother passed away. They called, they checked on me. So that gave me hope to even want to keep going. Because at one point, I didn't want to keep going. The strength came from the hugs and the flowers and the fruit baskets from actually my co-family, as I'm going to call them. And the life gave me, the life that I have today is because I was able to fulfill my purpose by going through our community services department as the volunteer coordinator. So now I'm out in the community to actually engage with the community and inform them and educate them in regards to the importance of becoming a donor. It's not about the registration, but it's about the education. And that's my purpose. The reason people should donate to the cause is because it's giving families, it's giving those that's waiting on the list, it's giving them hope. It's giving them a chance at a new life. It's giving them strength to keep moving forward. It's leaving footprints on everyone's hearts, like it have on minds. It's give people peace. So by giving to our organization, it's helping us. It's helping not only us, but it's nationwide. It's helping people have hope in what we are doing here in the life by saying yes to life-saving gifts. Nevada Donor Network, like I said, I believe that it has saved my life.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, LaShonda. Next, we have our keynote speaker, Jason Schechterly. Jason is a police officer who was trapped inside a burning vehicle where he suffered extreme burns to more than 40% his body, dramatically altering his appearance and his life. He persevered and is a beautiful example of a grateful recipient living their second chance to the fullest. Please join me in welcoming Jason.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Schechterly from Phoenix, Arizona. I wish so much that I could be with you in person today, but with the world we live in, this is a part of the deal, I guess. Speaking to this audience is incredibly humbling to both share my story, but try to accurately portray the sense of gratitude that I have and I've had for almost 20 years now. On March 26th of 2001, I was working my dream job, almost 20 years ago. And life, as many of you understand, before it changes, it seems perfect. I was at work one night on a routine patrol. On my way to a call, my car was struck from behind by a taxi cab that was doing over 100 miles an hour, causing my car to burst into flames. Thus began miracles and twists of fate that are hard to describe. My car came to stop right in front of a fire truck that was in the same intersection at the exact moment that I needed them most. They were able to go to work, got me out of the car in about 90 seconds. Because of the intensity of this fire, and even in just 90 seconds, I had suffered burns to 43% of my body. My neck, head, and face were the worst. They were 4th degree burns. This is a term I'd never heard. I thought 3rd degree was the worst burns you could have. 4th degree means it's down to the last layers of muscle into the bone. I was 2.5 miles away from what I consider one of the best burn centers in the United States at Maricopa County Hospital, and I was on their trauma table in less than 8 minutes. Another huge miracle. Give those doctors a chance to fight for me. My family was gathered around very quickly, and they were told very bluntly, my wife, my parents, Jason will not survive these injuries. Nobody can survive burns of this nature to their neck, head, and face. They took me into surgery, placed me into a medically induced coma. Just knowing the pain and surgeries I was going to face, they wanted to keep me pain-free and quiet and tried to give my family what little bit of peace they could have as they waited for what they thought was going to be the inevitable announcement that I hadn't survived. During that first surgery, the interesting thing with a burn injury, they will keep on burning. So they have to get all of that dead bacteria-filled tissue off of you. Draw a circle on my collar and erase everything up. That's what they had to do. The entire physical identity that I'd known for 28 years at the time. My ears, my nose, my eyelids, everything was completely removed right down to the last layers of muscle and to the bone. And at that point, it no longer mattered about what the firefighters did, what the doctors did, even how lucky I was, the timing that it got me to the hospital. When you get to that point, when everything is removed, when you've lost all those fluids and all that protection, the only way that you can survive is by becoming a tissue recipient. The gift of life. It is not just 3 words. It is so much more than that. I didn't have 1 or 2 tissue donors. I had dozens and dozens of donors that kept me going that second day, that third day, that following week, protecting me from the infections that you're going to battle with an injury like this from just being in the hospital. I needed those layers of skin to protect me and to help me get through that. And they did. I spent 2.5 months in a coma. I spent 5 months in a hospital. And even after waking up in a coma, as you can imagine, I was awoken to a nightmare that I didn't understand. I was completely blind. I really couldn't process what was going on. And I didn't have the ability to process how I had lived, how I had really survived. I ended up spending 5 months in the hospital, went through a lot of therapy, went through a lot of surgeries, and it continued this way that I was just so thankful that I was alive. I was grateful. I didn't understand fully the miracles and the timings and the twists of fate. But not long after I got home, I started to learn about being a tissue recipient. I started to learn from the doctors when I could ask them the right questions, when I had gotten strong enough to have a clear mind and want to know exactly what had taken place. The humility and the gratefulness that I felt, it's hard for me to even put into words. And that's what really started the positive momentum moving for me. And the beautiful thing about positive momentum is once it gets going, you just got to get out of the way. It's an unstoppable force. And I continued on that path. I got to do so many wonderful things in life. I got to carry the Olympic torch. I got to throw out the first pitch at an Arizona Diamondbacks game. I got to meet the President of the United States. And I was going along on my path. And my biggest goal, my dream, was to make something out of my life. Not only to get stronger, but to take care of my family and get back to work. But in the midst of that, my wife and I had decided, we had a daughter and a son, 7 years old and 3 years old. So blessed. But you go through something like this and it definitely makes you think and appreciate life. So we decided to try and expand our family, bring another life into this world. And we were so blessed. On October 29th of 2002, only 18 months after my accident, my wife gave birth to our youngest child, Mason. And when I got him home from the hospital, that is when I truly realized what the gift of life means and the importance. Now it's not about getting me out of a car. Now it's not about getting me through 1 or 2 surgeries. This is an entire life that's been created, should not exist. And I have watched Mason grow for the past 18 years into just a phenomenal young man and watch his deep appreciation for the life he lives. He's getting ready to graduate high school, go off to college in Charlotte, North Carolina to play baseball. What if Mason grows up and has 3 or 4 children of his own? Then they grow up and have 3 or 4 children. Those first few hours, those first few days and surgeries of being a tissue recipient can go on and on and on with no logical end. It is impossible to wrap my mind around that. It is so much bigger than what we realize in these moments. But I look at him every day with that humble appreciation, and I am so grateful. 3 years ago, I walked my daughter down the aisle. For those of you dads out there who have done that, it's one of those moments, unless you've experienced it, you can't explain it. And on that walk, all I could think about was 2 things. Number one, every step I had taken from March 26th of 01 that got me to that altar with her was worth it. But also I thought about my donors. Did they get to do this? Did they get this opportunity? Because they gave me the opportunity, and that was not lost on me, and it filled me with a spirit and a joy and a passion that even renewed, after all those years, it renewed me for the next 20 years that I'm going to face. We just found out recently that that same daughter that I walked down the aisle is pregnant. And I'm going to be a grandfather in July for the first time. I get to experience that because of people like you. I can't take away your pain, and I don't expect you to find joy. I'm not trying to ease any of that for you, but I hope in the midst of what you're going through, as you reflect on the lives of your loved ones that were lost, and you do find comfort and joy in the time that you got to have with them, I hope that you're able to find some peace in knowing that their gifts of life do matter. They matter to people like me, and it is in endless ways. I promise you that I wake up every day with a dedication to making the day better than I found it. I will always live my life with gratitude. I'm not worried about my appearance. I'm not worried about the fact that I'm not a police officer anymore. All I care about is that I have the gift of life and I get to be a dad. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. And I'm trying to react to my adversity the best way that I can and to honor all of you the best way that I can, with hope and faith and gratitude. And I hope that you are able to find some peace in the trauma and adversity that you have faced. God bless all of you. I thank you so very much. My wife, my children, every day we think about each and every one of you and all of the donor families across this country. God bless all of you. Stay safe.
Thank you, Jason. And from all of us, wow. I'd now like to introduce Shirley Lamb, Nevada Donor Network's Aftercare Supervisor. She will be walking us through a beautiful tribute ceremony.
Thank you, Jan. Please have a candle ready for the tribute ceremony portion of our program. Your loved one's legacy will forever be remembered. Today, we proudly honor all of the heroes who have saved and healed lives through organ, eye, and tissue donation, including donors in spirit whose willingness to give all they could is equally cherished. A very special guest will be sharing his talents with us during this part of our program. David Butler is a local musician and part of an incredible organization called Musicians on Call, who brings the healing power of music to local hospitals for patients and staff. He also has a personal connection to donation as a donor hero's son. In a moment, our tribute will begin. Please join us as we light a candle in honor of the heroes we love, we miss, and we thank for giving the most precious gift of all.
I wanna hold the hand inside you. I wanna take a breath that's true. I look to you and I see nothing. I look to you to see the truth. I close your eye, I throw in shadow. I close your eye for what's not there. Some kind of light into your darkness. Close your eye for what's not there. Fade into you. Strange you never knew. Fade into you. think it's strange you never knew. I wanna hold the hand inside you. I wanna take a breath that's true. I look to you and I see nothing. I look to you to see the truth. Strange, you never knew.
Today marks a new beginning, a powerful connection to those around us whose unique journeys look different yet similar. As you lit your candle, your loved one was united with the loved ones of every family member here today. No one navigates this journey alone because we are all connected through the gift of life. We invite you to connect with us, share your loved one's story, inspire others. When and if you are ready, we are here to help you write to the recipients of your loved one's gifts. We will navigate this journey together. For more resources and information, please visit nvdonor.org.
As we close today's ceremony, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining us in honoring and remembering your loved one's legacy of hope, strength, and life. We wish you comfort and healing, and thank you for the greatest gift that anyone can make.
For those donor families that would like to meet, network, and share your loved one's story with other courageous donor families, as well as Nevada Donor Network team members, please join us for one or both virtual Donor Remembrance Connection sessions on Saturday, March 6th and Tuesday, March 9th. Be on the lookout for an email with registration information. Thank you.